1977, I was having a time with one of my mentors, and he wrote books. Now, I never had any desire to write any books. It was never on my bucket list. It was never in any of my dreams. But I looked at him. His name was Les Parrott. I said, Les, why do you write books? And he said something that day that changed my life. He said, I write books to add value to people that are beyond my personal touch and beyond my personal influence. And the moment that he told me that, I looked him right in the eye and said, I'm going to write books. Not because I want to be an author or a writer. I'm going to write books because I really want to add value to people. I really want to make a difference in people's lives, and I want my influence to go beyond my personal touch. And so in 1979, I wrote my first books, and now, 82 books later, I'm still writing. I'm still writing. And I sat down and I asked myself the question, if you're going to write books, John, make sure that they help people. Make sure they help people be successful. Make sure that help people become significant. And so for 2 years, I studied success. I talked to successful people. I read everything I could about success. And I came to the conclusion, after a couple of years, that if I could write about 6 different subjects, that I could help people be very successful. And I want to just talk about those 6 for a moment. And of those 6, I want to take 3 and really kind of dig deep on. The first thing that I decided that I wanted to write on was on relationships. Because highly successful people connect well with people. Now you see, I was greatly influenced in the 7th grade by Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. You see, my father paid, I'm the middle child, the 3 of us, my father paid us money, our allowance, to read good books. And so what he would do is he would pick the books out. We were required to read 30 minutes a day. And one of the books that he picked out for me in the 7th grade was How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it was in the 7th grade I began to understand how important relationships were. And by the way, I paid my children allowance to read books. I paid my grandchildren allowance to read books. But when I was growing up, all my friends, they didn't get paid to read books. They got paid to do chores. I went to my dad one day and I said, Dad, I'd like to do chores and get paid for it like my friends. My dad said, no, you don't understand. I don't give you an allowance to do chores. I don't pay you to do chores. You do chores because you're part of a family. And I don't pay you. I don't pay you to be part of a family. In fact, he said, look at it this way, son. By the time you were born, you already owed your mother for 9 months of room and board. So shut up and take out the garbage. In fact, he said, why would I pay you to take out the garbage unless I want you to grow up and be a garbage man? I put my money where my values are. And my values are instilling incredible principles in your life that will make a difference. Now, my older brother or my younger sister, if they were here right now, they would tell you that incredible commitment of my parents to pay us to read books was life-changing. By the time I graduated from high school, I had taken 2 Dale Carnegie courses, and by the time I graduated from high school, I basically had all the principles under me that I needed to have to be successful. And I would just encourage you, pay your kids, pay your grandchildren an allowance to read good books, and then pick them out. But one of the things I wanted to write on was relationships, because I was so impacted by Dale Carnegie. In fact, one of the books I wrote on relationships is entitled Winning with People. And it's kind of a Dale Carnegie book. It's all about how to win with people. In fact, his grandson met me after the book was out for about a year. He asked if he could come and see me, and we had a long lunch, and he said, this is the closest book to my grandfather I've ever read. And I told him what an impact he had on my life. But here's what I know. Here's what I know. People won't go along with you if they can't get along with you. And I run into people all the time that are in the people business, and they're not any good with people. And I just want to take them to lunch and sit down with them and say to them, hi, my name is John, and I'm your friend. And I just want you to know, I just want you to know People don't like you. It just amazes me at the people that are in the people business that don't know how to connect and relate with people. If you're not any good with people, you don't want to be in this business. You want to be a toll booth operator. So I said, I'm going to write books on relationships, and I'm going to help people connect with each other. I wrote a book a few years ago called Everyone Communicates But Few Connect. It's a fact. So I said, I'm going to help people understand relationships. And then I said, I'm going to help people have a great attitude. You see, attitude is the difference maker. It's not everything. Attitude doesn't make up for incompetence. I've seen a lot of real happy, incompetent people. The good news is when they got fired, they were happy. So it's not everything, but it's the main thing. And attitude only shows up in adversity. I mean, during good times, everybody's got a good attitude, so good times doesn't even count. But it's in adversity and difficulty that attitude shows up. And people that are highly successful, they have an attitude of tenacity, and they don't quit, and they don't give up, and they get back up. Well, let me illustrate this just for a moment, because let me give you a visual that just probably says it all. And here's the visual. It's just very simple. This is what you do when you forget what you're going to say next. Here we go. Are you ready? Here we go. Everything worthwhile is uphill. Everything. If you have anything of great value in your life, it's uphill. I mean, Margaret and I have been married for 50 years. It's uphill. Are you with me? It's uphill. If you build a great business here in Young Living, can I tell you, it's uphill. It's uphill all the way. Everything worthwhile is uphill. Well, here's the problem. Here's the problem. You got this visual? Everything worthwhile is uphill. You got it? I'm not an old man losing his balance. Everything worthwhile is uphill. Hang on. We have uphill hopes. It's where our dreams are. It's where our hopes are. We have uphill hopes. But we have downhill habits. And you can't go uphill with downhill habits. And the only way that you and I can ever understand and climb this hill is to understand that it's uphill all the way. There's nothing easy. There's nothing quick. There's nothing simple about it. Success doesn't come in a very quick package. In fact, people that are successful, they spend all their life working on it, diligently, understanding that it's uphill. It's uphill all the way. And the only way that you and I can keep going uphill is to have an incredible attitude. And then I said, I'm going to write books. Okay, I'm going to write books on relationships and equipping, or an attitude. And the third one I'm going to write is on equipping. I'm going to teach people how to develop other people, how to equip and how to train people. Because the only way you can compound success in this business, or any business, is by developing people. That's how you compound time, it's how you compound energy, it's how you compound influence, it's how you compound money. Your ability and my ability to train, develop, equip people. It's where all compound. So I said, I'm going to help people develop people. I'm going to teach them how to equip, I'm going to teach them how to have an attitude of tenacity, I'm going to teach them how to connect and relate with people. And then number 4, I said, I'm going to teach them how to develop priorities. Because activity is not necessarily accomplishment, and how hard I work or how hard you work doesn't really determine how successful we're going to be. But if we can prioritize our life. So, on the next three thoughts, priorities, and the next two that I'll share with you in a moment, I want to do some teaching. And in the priorities section, I want to talk to you about what I call the power of five. Now this is life-changing. Okay, the next 7 minutes, trust me, has potential to do a very big pivot in your life. So let me illustrate the rule of five, then really apply it to you and to your life and to your business. The power of five just simply says that if I have a tree in my backyard and I want to cut it down, and if I have an axe, if I go out in my backyard and I pick up my axe and I go to that tree and I swing 5 times, put the axe down. Next day, go out, pick up the axe, go to the very same tree, 5 times I swing. Just 5. Every day. Put the axe down. Next day, pick up the axe, go to the very same tree, swing 5 times. Put the axe down. Go in my backyard the next day, pick up the axe, go to the very same tree, and every day, I'm swinging just 5 times. Not 15, not 50, not 500, just every day, just 5 times. Let me ask you a question. If every day I go into my backyard, pick up the axe, go to the same tree and swing 5 times at that tree, what is eventually going to happen to that tree? That tree will eventually what? It'll eventually fall. Now, if it's kind of a small tree, it may take a few months for it to fall. If it's a big tree, it could take a few years. But here's what I know. If every day I pick up the axe, go to the same tree, and if I swing 5 times at that tree, eventually that tree will fall. It's the power of 5. Now that simple illustration teaches us 5 things about priorities. Number 1, you have to know what you want to accomplish. In the story, what do I want to accomplish? I want to cut down that tree. You have to know what you want to accomplish.